mean, you're welcome to join us. October 10th. You're welcome to join us. Even if you're not on the committee, you're still welcome to come down and help. But this is the planning committee to get everything collaborated, to get everything signed up, to get all the, we're going to be doing donations, we're going to be doing the do-it-yourself games and such. This is the committee that makes all the decisions to have everything done.
Can I say no
You
for
can
now?
say no, you most certainly can. Heather?
No, original.
Okay, I understand. How are you feeling, by the way?
Pregnant. Yeah, I'm taking a lot.
Okay, all right, well, you look great, so glad to have you, and I'm glad things are going well. It will be right, as of right now, Nathan and myself, Misty Vance, I believe Caitlin Cole, but I'm not gonna write her down again. I believe Mary Power. Is the mayor not coming? Oh, there's the mayor.
Hope so. I'm right here.
I had your daughter written down. Is
Yeah.
she gonna be here, Nicole?
Yeah. Mhm.
Okay, well, I'm gonna talk to her again because, there's been
I'm
a
sure
lot of
something.
time lapse.
No, I'm sure something can be arranged.
Yeah, but I, would love to have her on the committee as well. She was such an
Please,
asset
go ahead.
last year. But I'll reach out to her. So, we're not gonna have a huge committee, no less than 5, no more than 10 is usually my rule of thumb. So, we will be, like I said, I will report back to you guys, this is what we're doing, just like I do with council. But we usually make the decisions on who we get, what we're doing. Tri-County has already stepped up for, the tournaments like they did last year. I will involve you in any way you wanna be involved. So, you wanna have games up front, round robins, whatever, you just let me know. I know Ed showed an interest when I talked to him.
So he said to email them because depending on dates, will depend on who gets it.
Absolutely, absolutely. So we're gonna start getting real heavily involved. The first thing we're gonna start with is donations. In lieu of sending out donation letters this year, we will send out some to the surrounding areas, but anything local, I wanna go in and do one-on-one. I wanna make it more personal this year. We did well last year, I wanna do very well this year. So hopefully we can do that. I did speak with, Kenny Curry this year, he's very interested in partnering with us in some form or another. I know Nathan, is trying to make some contact with other musicians that maybe have done a lot of entertaining in the local area or not, that might be interested in free advertising for them. I know my grandson, is interested in coming back. I've reached out to Smokehouse Entertainment to see, he did tell me yesterday, he does have a fee, cause he's got it pretty big, but we paid him last year as well. But he has quite a following now, so that would bring people in. But if we get some good guys that are free, yeah, I'm gonna let the committee make that decision. Eli might not be playing this year. That'll break my heart, but it's okay. It's for a good cause, and I will take free over anything. But that might persuade Eli to not charge anything. So we'll see. I don't know. The only attraction with Eli, would, if he can do it for nothing, would be the crowd at Coliseum. It's big. So, it's a family, but it's big. So, and they spend money. So we'll see how that goes. So I like Nathan's, approach on this by reaching out to a lot of other up and coming people too. Because last year that was Eli up and coming, and now he's playing in Nashville and all over Ohio. So, I don't care who plays as long as we get good entertainment, the less it costs, and nothing is better. So, any more questions on parking the park before we move forward? Okay. But you understand the concept of the separate committee, so, because I can't just come back once a month, or we gotta move. Yeah, we gotta move. Okay, I wanted to update you in the parking lot. Allscapes is finished. Sari said it looks great. I've been down there a put it out on Facebook, out on several sites on Facebook. So, we try to give them as much notice as we could. Okay, what do you have for us from your youth league? I know you said some of the diamonds, the backstops need repaired.
Yeah, and we have tournaments this weekend, like Friday, Saturday, Sunday. So it'd be great if we could get those done, and then the following weekend is Ed's tournament.
Is that Father's Day?
Yes. Saturday, Sunday, we'll be out there. We'll set up Friday and then play Saturday, Sunday.
How bad are they damaged?
A bunch of them are coming up, I know one's like curling in, and then there's, it's not really the backstop, but it's on field 3. I guess it's the home side, like towards J-Car. The fence is like curling up into the, dugout.
Andy?
And like balls are getting
Mhm.
stuck, and I don't want
Is there anything we can do to maybe get Diamond 3 backstop repaired?
I believe that we are waiting on parts. So there is and I can't even believe I'm saying this. There's a shortage of galvanized steel fencing parts. And so our guys have been to 4 places, including Rapps, Dwyer's, Home Depot, Lowe's. I don't think they've called Stevens, but we probably should do that next. And they can't find any of the right parts for some of the for some of the fencing. So if that's part of the problem, I'm gonna say, yeah, we're still on it. We do know there are fencing issues there. So it's just we can't do much about them until we get the parts.
I had an offer to even go to his house to grab pieces to come back and fix it himself.
Oh, that's very kind. We should be able to fix this. This is not rocket surgery here.
Is it something like in the meantime, can we take like a crowbar and try to unbend the pieces that are curling up?
I don't know which pieces are curling up, so I can't answer that, but I'm happy to take a look.
On the fence.
So just maybe have the guys go out there
Yeah,
and
usually
look
there's
at
a there's a metal line usually that runs the bottom of the fence that keeps tension on the bottom of the fence to prevent it from curling. So maybe that's just snapped. I don't know. It could be as easy as that. Have to take a look in more detail.
how about those hooks that are like you know how like you put like a yard tent in it? You know, they
Yeah,
go
pin
like
'em
this
down,
and that.
pin them down,
Yeah.
kind of thing.
So
And you could
that's what my uncle said, he basically
Yeah.
had, like, he had done fencing and had a bunch of extra leftover whatever they used.
yeah, like a tent.
So, yeah, 'cause he was
Anchor.
there last Saturday.
Yeah.
This is on number 5?
Three.
3? Okay.
He was on either 1 or 2 though, but I know 3's best, I mean, they all
3,
need,
1, or 2?
they all need some work.
Well, I think they just go out there and analyze all of it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
They all need work.
totally doable.
So Andy's gonna have the guys go out there this week and see what he can do. I'll check with Andy Thursday, see if we can get any progress. What else you got?
Just tournaments this weekend, and then Ed's tournament the following week.
I'm gonna be requesting
You do.
We do have a skid steer, but that's not generally what we would use to, so a skid steer weighs like 8,000 pounds. I mean, it's really heavy, so we would generally use,
Or a tractor in
like,
now.
well, but, yeah, previously, we used to use our Kubota, however, it did an excellent job of burning the transmission out in the Kubota. We're not really in a position to drag anything at the moment, so I don't know what you guys wanna do about that. We as a village haven't been dragging it in some time. We mow, we do all the weed eating, mowing and cleaning and everything else, but we generally haven't been dragging the fields.
But years ago, when they were maintained very nice, when Jeff was doing a ton of work over those fields.
But that wasn't village sponsored.
I know, but I'm saying I don't know where he got stuff or brought stuff from, or, I mean, he was always out there, but
Right.
I'm just asking for help from the village somehow to get
Okay.
the fields in decent looking.
I understand. So what we can do is revert back to Tri-County, because I know Adam has the equipment. And he's always willing to help. I know we don't like this answer, but that's our only other alternative, is to see if Tri-County will come in and help maintain the fields in the fall, because that's when they like to use it.
Is there anything we could be I mean, I do believe it would be on the village to help maintain those fields outside of contracted seasons. You know what I'm saying?
Well, we never have, that's what I think Andy's trying to say, it's always been on the leagues. And Tri-County is gonna be using the leagues part of the end of summer and through the fall. So, and I've talked to Adam, and he has no problem helping maintain those fields at any given time.
But if he has equipment that breaks down, just like the youth league has, I do think we as a village should help them. Or, and out of season, if you just let a field go because Tri-County's not taking care of it, because they're not taking care of it, it is a nightmare to get it restarted. So I even think we should be doing something in the off seasons
But I
when
bring my
those
kids.
weeds are growing.
Yeah, I mean, it's me, I bring my kids to drag the fields.
Sure. Yeah,
But I
we
can't do
used
anything
to
for a
drive
chain
fields
drive.
and we coach too, I mean, we did that for years. Andy, do we have money in the budget to do something to maintain those fields? I mean, how would we do that?
Look, I guess we need to be really clear, the village spends today a lot of time maintaining the park. So are we talking about just the fields, or are we talking about other parts of the park? Because we spend
Diamonds.
a couple of days a week mowing during typically all,
Right.
since, spring starts and we go all the way through till it stops growing. So, and we empty all the trash, we paint all the buildings, we repair the facilities, so is it just the ball diamonds themselves, or what is, I guess help me understand what's going on here.
The dirt needs on the fields need track.
Okay,
Otherwise, the grass is gonna keep growing up in
Yep.
it, and it's gonna be even harder to maintain.
Which is
So-
why my tournament guy comes in with this huge tractor and heavy drag and basically tills up the diamonds before he has to use them because they're so covered in weeds.
Does the village have a tractor?
we do have a tractor. It's used for mowing, and it does not have, it has cleat tires, it does not have turf tires, just to let you know.
I think for right now, for this season, I don't think the village is prepared to do the diamonds. I think that we do the fields, and that's what we're prepared to do. I think for right now, we need to have a conversation with Tri-County. You're on Tri-County, what are your thoughts? Oh, you're not on Tri-County.
No resign.
Okay, well, that's so much for what I know. Okay, so let's have a conversation with Adam, which I'll be glad to do. And,
With that, though, the safety base, one of my tanks, I didn't grab it, but, cause they did do field 5, they scraped it a couple weeks ago, I don't know. Which it looks great, it looks amazing, but one of the rubber safety bases, or tanks that hold my safety base in, got broken, and I saw them had it out there, we had a game the next day, so I said, can you please replace the bases right back where they were, cause everything was set and ready to go, all I had to do was line it. We had to go out there and dig 2 new holes because they weren't right where they were set, and then of course still, there's none of those pegs that they put into the ground have been down either from last season.
I'm sorry, without actually seeing what's at issue, I don't know what we're talking about. Are you saying that one of our guys mowed over one of your bases, or, I'm sorry?
It was the other league,
Tri-county.
the other league was working on the field,
Okay,
and when they sprayed it, they ruined a safety base.
oh, I
So what
see.
she's asking is if the village can do the fields themselves, as far as like
The
during
diamonds.
the diamonds during the off season. So, I don't know how much time it takes, it's not that much.
I wonder if like once a month, if there was a tractor
That would be sufficient.
that
Yes.
they could throw on their schedule and do all 4 fields and just, and that would help both leagues.
Yes.
It would also help the future weed problem.
Yeah.
And so definitely needed in the spring, like once a month, if the village can help us.
All I'm gonna say is let me talk to our service crew and see what's actually practical, and we'll get back with you. I don't have an answer to that without talking to the services supervisor himself, so he can figure out if we ask their team to do that, what all is involved with that. As it is, we spend 3 days out of typically a week out there, so it's a pretty big commitment already.
In the meantime, you know, Adam probably better than I do, but he's always told me anything we need done down there, he would do it for me. So I'm still gonna reach out to him and see if he will do that once a month, maintain the streets.
Oh, it's not like that. It's a boundary, it's like a
Yeah, yeah,
It was just a check.
Just okay.
that was my understanding when you told me before and I asked about it.
But I just don't wanna have to go back in and fix.
And you shouldn't have to, so,
Every, sounds
Little
like.
communication.
No, there's no,
hopefully he can,
there's zero.
indicate it a little
There is
better
zero.
and.
It just, like, they showed up the other day and we had games on all the fields and then two of the boys like kinda looked at me like, field 5 was, had a game on, I'm like, sorry guys, like we have games going on.
there was one night that I asked you to leave Field 5 open, was it then? I don't think it was then.
No.
Cause I know the night that I asked you to leave
It
5
was just
Field
a
open,
random day.
I think you were okay with.
Yeah. It
Yeah.
was just some day they just showed up and
Yeah.
was gonna go practice.
Yeah, and other days, they thought that you guys were playing and they went down and you weren't playing, so, yeah.
But they went to batting cage or I found a field that we weren't using and that's what it was.
Yeah, okay. Well, there's gotta be more communication, cause I hear the same thing from Adam that I hear from you, there's no communication. So, it's equal, you know, it's equal, so,
Hey, can I please make a suggestion about some of this? Can we please get back to using the community calendar, because it is here, and it's, that way you would know, I mean, everyone would know, and that's what,
that's why I asked you for.
that's why we have it, and it's, you know, like, you can just come in and pencil dates off.
So
You know,
all
you
of
can,
our practices and games, supposed to be honest, but I've
Yes.
never seen this before,
Yes.
like I've never even heard of it
Yes.
before.
yeah, it's,
I
we
should have
ran
it.
into this problem with,
Schedule.
Youth League and other folks who wanted to use it, like birthday parties and, you know, if you wanted to have a yard sale out there or something like that. And all we ask is, you know, if you just put your dates on the community calendar, it's in the water office, just ask for it whenever you would like and put your dates on there as for that you know. And we ask everybody else to do the same, and that way, hey, you don't step on each other and life is good.
I had a gentleman call me today from Urbana, his name was Matt Noriega, very nice gentleman, and asked me if he could use the, park for 2 hours. He asked me how much we were charging, and I told him there was no charge. And so he asked me if it was available, and you had already told me Wednesday night you're on all harness.
Yeah,
And,
right now anyway.
Yeah, so I explained that to him, and he said, so if I wanted to book a 2-hour practice, and you guys weren't using the park, I could come down and use the park? And I said, as long as you give us enough notice and I have you on the calendar, absolutely. So he was really excited about that, and I'm like, okay. Yeah. So, okay. Yeah, let's remember going into next year, or anything you do down there, if you can get me it in writing, just text me or email me a list of calendar, please. Cause I know you've got that book and I'm like, ooh, that's scary. allocated for repairs. Jack is doing a good job mowing, correct? The only reason he hasn't been trimming back there is because the fence has been there, so he hasn't been able to. Porta-johns, are they being emptied every week?
Fridays.
Fridays? Okay, we just need to make sure, as we talked before, it's not Jack's responsibility to empty that trash after that stuff happens. It's up to the coaches and the parents and anybody else who's down there, that's having tournaments and gameplay to empty that stuff. So, Andy's gonna talk to the guys about the park repairs. The last thing that I have that I have a paper. Movie night at Next Gen went okay. She had several kids there, and then she had 2 or 3 families come in from the community. Cute movie, and, she had down-home treats there, and Emma had her bakery there. So, next thing is we have the next movie, I believe it's on June 27th. Do I have any volunteers to take care of that movie night? If I don't, okay, Nathan's gonna take care of that for me, I appreciate that. Think about who's gonna do it in, July, because I'm not, did you talk to the MSBCA about a donation?
Yes, they
Okay.
are not able to.
You're not able to donate, okay, so we probably will not be having a third movie night. If we can't get a donation, I'm not gonna schedule one.
What was the next one might be on?
June 27th, and I believe it's Utopia 2. And since I know that it's gonna happen, I will start getting the flyer out and start advertising that very well. Okay.
I will have to see if I can get some help with that, 'cause my daughter will be looking for wrestling.
Well, your season's over.
My
isn't
season's
it?
over, yeah, and Ellen has a game.
Tri-County interested at all, or do they take over concession there?
They haven't done concession because they don't have the manpower. They haven't had any volunteers for concession, and Angie can't do it by herself. I can talk to Caitlin because she showed an interest in it. I can talk to Caitlin Pitzer, and,
So I know the last meeting, you talked about fundraisers and how we can make some money. Potentially, that could be a way.
well, we
If
could
the
use
youth
their
league
stuff. We
didn't
could-
want, I mean, we would
Yeah.
need to supply it, I would say, but.
We would need to supply it, we would buy the stuff. So we would have to figure out how we're gonna get it, it's just my stuff. So, unless we kept track of what we sold, and you told us how much we owed you, and we would keep profit. I mean, I don't know how that would work out.
Well, do you have end of season food? So like, for instance, I'm sure you guys have a stockpile of like Sam's Club stuff.
Not yet, I don't do that.
Yeah, so I'm just saying like, whatever
I don't
you
like
have.
tournament food, like I gotta get more food because that tournament's crazy. So I gotta, usually after that's over with, like, we've taken, extra things that we've had, like to the community center, like for them to food picture or whatever, like, not necessarily frozen things, but all the chips and candy and stuff.
Yeah, so I mean, if you have, because obviously it's not gonna keep until next season.
Yeah.
That would be something that,
Yeah.
you guys would just have to compile a list of like X amount of chips, X amount of this, and sell it off your hands,
Yeah.
whatever you have left over, and then when it's out, it's out.
I have, access to a cotton candy machine, we can sell cotton candy, and that would be ours.
So like at the last movie night, like how many people were in attendance there at Next Gen?
Kids wise, there were, oh gosh, at least 12 or 14, which is about average, because we usually have, between 30 and 50 at a normal movie night, and that's with the kids and 2 parents. We have siblings and parents and then sisters. I mean, it's just, we never have less than 25. two of the vendors, or the vendors had a couple of kids. There were two or three from the community, and the rest of them were her kids. Probably spread it out. So I'm gonna say, what did I say, 12 or 14, I don't know. I mean, I didn't do a head count. But,
Okay, so you're not looking at like 100 kids or people.
Oh, heavens no.
Yeah.
Heavens no.
So then I would say your concession wouldn't be
Yeah.
hundreds
It's
of
not gonna be
dollars.
well out, no.
Yeah.
No. But usually, I know when Kathy had it, it was huge because she had all the homemade food there, which we're not doing anymore. It's basically back down to what, hot dogs and nachos or something. I know what you're guys doing.
Yeah, a lot we do like waffle tacos and things like that. We've got, for tournaments and things, like our tennis and stuff, we do hamburgers,
Stuff you can run a grill.
yeah, eggs and bacon, I'm trying to buy something. But she'd bring in, oh my god.
She had, like,
Strawberry shortcake, that's what
yeah,
it was.
9 different crock pots of stuff. I mean, it was all good. It was
Yeah.
just, it just went loud. So, before they used to have, they were in there. So, we'll have to think about that. We've got a couple weeks yet. Figure it out. I don't know, what do you think? All right.
Does anybody get weird over like homemade food and stuff?
Yep.
I'm just saying, like, you
Where that
know,
comes from.
yes.
Stuff in my kitchen, I'm not thinking about it twice.
I've been at Waffles my whole life.
Right.
You can
And
pass
nothing
me a
hurts
drink,
you?
you just drink. Except for exception.
Except
I have
for-
to that's actually, that date is the date I'm ready.
That's a problem, because I won't be available either. All right.
Well, I mean, would it be appropriate since we haven't advertised to just switch the weekend?
So you have,
For June.
The
you have
20th.
The 20th, the 27th. So we got left. Or you can go into July. It cannot be the 4th. That's the 11th, 18th, 25th. When are you leaving? Okay.
18th of October,
We've always done it before the last Saturday. We want to do it the 25th.
so can you guys make a recommendation, and then Joyce, if you can take that tonight back to council? Cause you had June the 27th, yeah.
I'm okay with that. That'll be kind of an end of the season thing, since we're not doing a third one. We should be around too, so. Okay. What do you think?
Can you guys make a recommendation?
The recommendation